Hey guys, it's Kenny here from the Fantasy Golf Degenerates and the FantasyFanatics.com, bringing you my cash game cornerstones for this week's Arnold Palmer Invitational. Now, before we get into this week, let's recap last week's pick for the Valspar Championship. They were Matt Kuchar, Charles Howell III, Jason Duffner, and Party Marty Laird. Now, Kuchar, he made the cut, finished in 22nd with a score of -3. CH3 made the cut but faded on the weekend a bit, finishing at +1 in 49th place. Jason Duffner played well, shooting 6 under and finishing in 11th. And Marty Laird, it was my one miscut. The dreaded 3 of 4 hits once again. Probably should have went a little bit safer. I was thinking about Furyk the whole time, but decided to get a little cute. So that's not going to happen this week. Now let's move on to this week's tournament. It's going to be the Arnold Palmer Invitational from Bay Hill Golf Club and Lodge. There's a little bit of sadness in this year's tourney, as it's the first time the King, Arnold Palmer, won't be handing out the trophy to the winner on Sunday. I never met the man, but all I hear is great stories about how good of a person he was, and he did so much for the game of golf. So golfers will be paying their respects to him all week. The course itself was redesigned by Arnie in 2009. So looking at course history pre-2010 is probably not the best idea. The fairways are wide with thick rough and strategically placed fairway bunkers on just about every hole. Water also comes into play on at least 6 holes. On approach shots, golfers will see average size Bermuda greens that are usually firm with a Stimpmeter rating of around 12 or above. There is a little bit of word that the greens are a bit more receptive than I thought, but it did rain yesterday, and it's supposed to be dry for the rest of the week. So I think they're going to be a bit firmer than they are today, which is Tuesday, but we'll see. The greens are sloped, and they have runoff areas. Bunkers and water once again come into play. Now, this is only a 120-man field, with the cut being top 70 in ties. Last year, nearly 15% of all GPP lineups had 6 of 6 through, and more than that had 6 of 6 through in cash games. This is a bit more than usual. So this week getting 6 of 6 through, which really is important every week, but this week you're less likely to cash with only 5 of 6 through. Using safer plays, if there really is such a thing, and PGA DFS is a good way to go, and there is plenty of value in the lower price ranges. Some stats I'm looking for this week are going to be strokes gained tee to green, par 4 scoring, strokes gained approach, proximity from 200 yards plus, and scrambling. On the spreadsheet, I'll be weighing these key stats at 50%, current form at 25%, and course history at 25% as well. So let's get on to the picks. First up, it's going to be Henrik Stenson at $11,500. You know, outside of his withdrawal in Mexico, Stenson has reeled off 7 straight top 10s worldwide, and he's made all 7 of his cuts here at Bay Hill since the redesign, with 4 consecutive top 10s. Now, he finished 7th last week, hitting the second most fairways out of all the golfers in the field, and he gained nearly 4 strokes on the field with his approaches. He actually putted lights out as well, I think gaining almost 5 or more strokes on the field with his putter. I expect this trusty 3-wood to continue hitting the fairways on another less than driver course, which should lead to many birdie opportunities for the Swede. He's also great with his long irons, and with nearly 35% of all approach shots coming from over 200 yards, this will be needed this week. I don't mind paying up for him, and I think he makes for a very safe play up top. Next up, it's going to be Francesco Molinari at $8,600. Molinari has been playing really well since the end of last year. He's made 8 of his last 9 cuts, and he's never finished worse than 20th in any of those 8 made cuts. Stat-wise, he's excellent. He's 21st in strokes gained tee to green, 4th in strokes gained approach, good scrambler, makes a lot of birdies, good putter. In his 16 rounds at Bay Hill in his career, he has shot par or better in 14 of those rounds. He's never missed a cut here in 4 tries, and he has a couple of top 10s as well. Third pick, it's going to be Kevin Kisner at $7,600. You know, he had somewhat of a down start to last year. But since then, Kisner's been playing really consistent golf the last 8 months, making 17 of 18 cuts with 10 top 26s in that span. So far this year, he's been elite from tee to green, especially with his iron play, and he's great from distance, as he's second in proximity from 200 plus yards. He's been very good in 2017 so far, making all 5 of his cuts with 4 top 25s and 3 top 11s. He missed the cut here last year, but he's playing much better golf right now, and I think another top 25 or better is definitely feasible for him this week. My final cash game cornerstone pick is basically the free space of the week. It's Charles Howell III once again, but he's $2,500 cheaper than he was last week. This guy just makes cuts, and he's made 10 consecutive cuts on tour. He's also made all 7 of his cuts here at Bay Hill since the redesign in 2009. He's good from tee to green, good at par 4s, scrambles and putts well, and he's also good at par 5s. I expect him to be one of the highest owned guys in cash, but at this price you almost have to pay him so you can feel secure in the low price range and be able to afford more studs in your lineup like Henrik. Now, I'm not too sure if I'll have a lot of them in GPPs just because his ownership is going to be high, and I'm not too sure what his upside really is here, as he hasn't finished inside the top 20 at this tournament in a long time. For cash, I think he's safe. Now, so let's recap my cash game cornerstones for this week. They're going to be Henrik Stenson at 11,500, Francesco Molinari at 8,600, Kevin Kisner at 7,600, Charles Howell III at 6,900. This leaves you over 15,000 left on the cap to fill out the rest of your roster, so you have plenty of room to maneuver. If you're looking for another sub 7K other than Charles Howell III for cash games, take a peek at either Mark Leishman or Ian Poulter. Leishman's been playing well this year. He's had success at this course. It's a little bit sporadic. He's missed a couple of cuts, but overall he's played well. And also Ian Poulter, who I can't believe I'm going to say that you should think about using him because I'm not the biggest fan of him. But when it comes to DFS, sometimes you got to leave your biases out the window. So, he's made 6 cuts his last 6 cuts here. He hasn't missed a cut here since the course redesign. So I like Ian Poulter in cash as well. All right, guys. So make sure you check out all the strategy content and the tools that thefantasyfanatics.com has to offer. Check out Brad Mastersmith's GPP video. Check out iPod Todd's European video. And, check out the site. It's a really cool site. They added the FanDuel aspect. I'm not too sure how much I'll dig into that quite yet. I'm going to need a few weeks, maybe a month or two, to figure the FanDuel stuff out. The scoring's got me a little bit rattled. But good luck this week, and I'll see you next week for my cash game cornerstones.